In this video, we're going to discuss section 4.7. 4.7 is about our dimensions, 0 dimension, 1 dimension, 2 dimension, and so on. This section is going to help you if you are struggling with the reading of Flatland. This may help put the beginning of the book into perspective quite literally for you. So the first thing we're going to talk about is a point is 0 dimension. So when I say a point, we draw it like that. But really what a point is just a location in space. And it doesn't have any depth, it doesn't have any width, it doesn't have any height, it doesn't have any size to it. And so we represent a point with a dot like this, but that's just so that we can communicate it. It's really an abstract idea. I can't physically hand you a point because it has no size, no dimension, no shape. So 0 dimensions is a point. 1 dimension is a line. If we take that point and drag it side to side, we create a new dimension. One might call it length. And so 0 dimension is a line. Now if we take that line and drag it, we get a plane. So imagine I'm taking that line and I'm dragging it up and down. Now I had length from 1 dimension. Now I've created this second dimension called width, let's say. All right, so 2 dimensions. Now if I take 2 dimensions, if I take that plane and drag it out of the screen at you, I get 3 dimensions. We call that space. All right, this is kind of a cube right here to signify that. So not outer space, but space is 3D. So we live in 3 dimensions. So what do mathematicians do? They take an idea and they expand on it. So we had a point for 1 dimension. We drug it, got a line. We drug that line and got a plane. We pulled that plane off the screen towards us and got a cube. Now what happens if we take that cube and pull that in a direction that we haven't already used? And that's where we get the 4th dimension. Now for us, this is theoretical. We live in a 3D world, so we can't quite imagine that 4th dimension. But here's a picture of a representation of it. It's a tesseract. You can see this cube here on the inside, and then you're imagining that you're pulling that cube in some contrary direction. Okay, but since we only live in 3D, it's very difficult for us to visualize what that means. So in the next video, what we're going to do is try to look backwards so that we can figure out how to look forward.